Hello, everyone, and welcome to Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin. Got my co host, Alex Figueroa of Geeks and Flix.
Hello.
And today we'll be discussing The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951, and the 2008 remake. And before we get started, Alex, how you doing, man?
I'm tired, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Yep, that pretty much sums up my day, too.
Yeah.
Uh, but so it's kind of your idea to talk about these movies here. What has been your experience with the 50s film and the 2008 film of The Day the Earth Stood Still?
So it's funny. So when we did the comparisons before, I remember saying I didn't like the 2008 version. I prefer the 50s version. Then rewatching this movie and the other movie again, I have a different opinion on the 2008 on the rewatch. The 50s version I enjoyed for what it was, but it's funny. It's another film that I on the rewatch again. I got a different opinion on it. So when it comes to it, are they identical? They're the same plot, but
Pretty
totally
much.
different in terms of one is more modern, which is going to give you more effects and stuff, and all this. They're going to make it more glamorous and make it different, more destruction. Whereas the 50s is what they got, and they're going to give it to you from a science fiction version where it's more narrative in terms of the storytelling and not as much destruction like the other one did. So two different Klatus. You got the Keanu Reeves version, and then you got this guy's version, Michael Reeny or whatever, Weenie.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Michael Reeny played Klaatu. You got two different versions of him and two different, which is the same style. Like Keanu Reeves played him the same way, but is again two different aliens that land. One in Washington, D.C., the other one wasn't in Washington. I think it was in New York.
Yeah, like New
Yeah.
York, New Jersey area.
Yeah, it was New York, New Jersey. So again, it's two different is the same character, two different ways of telling the guy his message to bring to Earth were two different in the two films. So with that said, I kind of enjoyed the two difference. Same moral of the story, but totally different. So I again, in terms of it, I did enjoy it. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, this is a first time watch for both of them, so I was very
So
curious
that's
to see.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so going into it, I had no idea what to expect. I purposely tried to avoid any trailers or anything. I wanted to go in fresh start. And a few weeks ago, I had Tony Movie Chappie on, and we did War of the Worlds. So the 50s one and then the 2005 one. So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit too, how around the same time they remade another 50s movie, except that one was Spielberg. This one was it Scott Derrickson, I think it was.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so like you said too, though, totally different. It's the same plot, but different interpretations of it. So I thought that was pretty interesting too.
It's the best way to do it. I mean, you can't go back and do the same style of movie. You could. It's not like you can't. You could, but then hardcore fans of the original is gonna get mad and go, "Why did you just take that and made it your own?" Which they did, and I give them a lot of kudos. I mean, I don't know where you landed on the if you like or dislike. That's what we're gonna talk about, but I think they did a great job in doing something with that and flipping it to something new. So yeah,
absolutely.
I'll tell you this though. If you ask me between, because I didn't hear your thing yet on the War of the Worlds, if you ask me if I enjoy that one or this one better, the Keanu Reeves 2008, I will tell you that I enjoyed The Day the Earth Was Still more than the World of the Worlds. That's just me. I don't know. I just feel like in terms of which one engaged, I like the 08 version.
Yeah.
Just me. I don't know what your take is on the remake of it, but yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it. But
yeah.
I think it's also a difference too of if you like Keanu Reeves more or Tom Cruise more, for sure.
Well, for me, it doesn't come down to the actor. I mean, in terms of you could do that, but I just think the source material. Whereas this World of the World, I don't want to go too deep into it, but World of the Worlds have the family aspect, and then they running away from the from the aliens or whatever, then the stupid virus, and it stops. And I'm like, whatever. In this one, I just feel like the entire world, it's on a balance. And this dude and Jennifer Connelly and annoying Will Smith's son
Oh, Jaden Smith, yes.
have to like change this guy's mind to save the earth. To me, that's more. It's not no corny like you need to just save us, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, and then he just stops it. Like he needs a reason
Right.
for Earth to survive. I feel like World of the Worlds wasn't that. It was just a destruction movie, and it was just a corny, stupid virus thing that stopped it. Again, anybody could like it either way. That's the whole point of films. You have your own opinions on it, but I just prefer this version of it than the other one. And you can see the destruction of a little thing eating everything in 2 seconds, compared to these robots that are just grabbing and turning you into like ground beef or whatever it was doing. So I don't know. I again, I don't know your thing yet on this movie, or 2008 version. I want to know what you thought. What did you think of the World of Worlds? Just give it to me quick.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Did you?
I like the old one more personally.
Okay. See, so yeah.
Yeah. I thought the problem I have with Spielberg, I love a lot of his movies, but sometimes I think he leans a little too much into sentimentality. Like the last scene of them running to the apartment and his ex-wife and all of them are super clean, no dirt or anything, and it was too cheesy. And his son's there too. It was way too cheesy for me. I hated that.
Yeah, and it's funny because like every destruction's all over the place, and that house is no one
that
touched house.
The one place.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah. I was like,
It was too cheesy for me. But that's just Spielberg in general. He leans a little too much into that sometimes.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into our thoughts, though, on the original, the 1951 film. So, Alex, what were your thoughts on the plot?
So I like the way this one. So this was more narrative storytelling. So this one, Klaatu comes to Washington D.C. and tells him, "Hey, I want to talk to all the world leaders." And the guy's like, "Well, it's impossible, to do." And he's like, "Well, you better make it possible, because if not, then you guys are gonna die." Like, the difference with this plot and the 08 is that Keanu Reeves was like, "Brother, you dying." Like,
there's no option.
Yeah, there was no option. It was like, I'm not helping you, but it's like if you don't get me to your world leaders, like you have a certain amount of time before this destruction happens. Like, and they ignored him like humans will do. In this one, I felt like it was more of a softer tone, like, but it's not on a timetable. It's just him telling them like, and this is just me. You could tell me if I'm right or wrong, but it was like towards the end, he just tells the people that was surrounded by the UFO, he's like, listen, your annihilation is you. Like, you guys keep pushing the buttons and all this stuff. Like, we're gonna come back, and that's it. Like, I'm gonna give you time, and you guys will play it out, talk amongst yourselves. But if there ain't no peace, pretty much it's over. Like, they're gonna obliterate everybody. So it felt like there was more of an option of the humans to make their own decision on whether they're going to choose peace amongst everybody, or they're just going to fight amongst themselves. And then my man Klaatu and the entire posse is going to come in and just wipe it out and make the earth, great. I mean, they're just pretty much saving the earth from its own annihilation from the humans, pretty much. That's what I got from the story. But from this one was more optional, and I kind of like this one because he was bonding with the kid, walking around to see how Earth is and how the humans are. And I think he's starting to feel the not passion, but he feel like a connection with the main lady here. Helen, right? Helen. Helen Benson. He had a connection with that character, and he saw it in a different light. And I think that's why he gave he pretty much gave them the option, like, you know what? And I love the sentence that he said before the whole speech. He was like, "I'm gonna give it to you blunt." Like, I'm not gonna walk on eggshells. Yeah, pretty much. He was just like, "I'm gonna give it to you guys. I'm gonna give it to you blunt." So in terms of the plot, I gave it a 4. I think it was a great plot. Again, for me, perfect. Like giving it a 5 out of a 5. Like it has to be like. I mean, like one out of it has to just be perfect across the board. Like for me, for 50s movies, like it's not my genre of movies. Like you're more into it, so you see a lot of I don't know if there's a lot of the same style of writing and
Oh,
everything. Like,
absolutely.
yeah. So for me, I don't see much of this. So I'm going from what I was engaged. I liked the storyline. I wasn't bored at all. I thought it was really fun to see an alien amongst humans while the humans are looking for him, and he was still there. And they were talking to him. I love the scene that he's talking to him around the table and
Yeah, yeah.
everything. So I gave it a 4. I thought it was a great storyline, and it still holds up. The plot still holds up. So I gave it a 4.
All right. Well, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
But I liked it. I think to me the best part was that ending monologue he had. Kind of like you said, telling them, we'll be back if you don't fix yourselves up and whatnot. I thought that was the best part, and to me the best acting as well. Kind of talking about that. I just thought too much time was spent with him and the boy. I don't know. It's kind of hit and miss for me with kid actors. I thought this kid was just meh, and we spent a lot of time with him and that dynamic. I would have loved to see him more with like world leaders or something like that. I think that would have been more interesting, at least to me. But I guess if he did that, though, it would have lessened his compassion. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because you got to remember the point of the kid was that he was connecting to see it through a kid's mind. Like
Yeah,
he was he's an alien, so he to
he has
this
no idea. Yeah,
he has no idea what a kid sees or whatever. He took him to a graveyard, sees his dad, sees amongst everyone that fought for the the country or whatever, and then death. Then he took him through like other spots in Washington, and it's making him realize like humans are compassionate. It's not they're not always angry because remember he got shot the minute he got
right.
off
He did the second he got
so
off.
so
Yep.
again from that point of view, you're pretty much he's trying to see, are they aggressive or non-aggressive? And the little boy made the humans look more grand than what they are. And I think with the world leaders, if they would have introduced it, would have been totally, he would have been more of a like, they're going to annihilate everybody because they
Yeah,
all
I
have
guess
the
that's true.
different, everyone has their own opinions in the world. So it would be like, oh, this guy's an alien. This guy's going to destroy everyone. This guy, there'll be no one level-headed person that will say, why don't we hear this guy, to say what he has to say. It will be everybody will have their own opinion that will be negative to the positive. And I think the boy and him walking around and everything, to me, I like those scenes because I thought it was pretty cool. Even when the mom and him got stuck in the elevator when the lights went out.
Yeah. I
That was
like that.
another great
I like that scene.
monologue that he was telling her when he introduces himself as the alien. Like she was scared, but then she kind of realized when he told her the plot. And I was like, there you go. But yeah, so
Yeah, but nevertheless, I still like the overall story and the idea of it.
yeah.
I don't know. I could have done less with the kid though, so I give 3 out of 5. All right. What are your thoughts on the acting?
It's again 50s acting. Again, I like Klaatu. He was very straightforward. He was not soft spoken, more not demeanor. I don't know like the word to say. Like he wasn't like demand, like he wasn't like a arrogant or anything. He was just like a normal guy. Like he
He's
was
almost
just
like Spock.
Yes, he has no feelings. He's just like interested in anything. He's like a Vulcan. Yeah, you're right. He's like a Vulcan. He's interested in everything. He's just mouth quiet, sucking in the energy, like the information, what he's watching and seeing. And then when someone combats him, he hits him with some knowledge. Like when him and the professor were going at it with the numbers. Like I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, you're right. He's like a Vulcan. I give it a 4 because if there was no good acting, then the movie ain't gonna be that good. So
No.
I give it and to me, I'm focusing on Helen because she is the focal point in terms of the story moving along because he does go into her house and gives a room and all that. So I'm focusing on her, the little boy, which I know you didn't like the little boy, but I thought he was cool for a 50s kid. And I'll be honest with you, he's way better to me than the annoying Will Smith's son. I hated Will Smith's son.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So I kind of like the kid. I like the husband / boyfriend that figured him out and he wanted to be all popular and everything. And then in terms of this, Klaatu liked him. I really liked him a lot in the robot. I thought the robot was cool. I know it's a guy in the suit, but I still think he looked cool. So with that, I gave it a 4. I thought they were great. cast.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I also gave it a 4. I thought it was really good for a B movie, you know?
Yeah,
Because same thing, War of the Worlds was also a B movie, and that also had some good acting. So sometimes these older films, especially around this time, all the kind of cheesy movies, sometimes had really good casts. Like, I agree with you. I love Klaatu. He was probably my favorite overall.
yeah,
The robot was cool too. Yeah, pretty much everybody was great. The only hindrance for me was the kid, but other than that, I loved everybody else. I
yeah.
thought they worked really well together. And they were earnest and it was believable. It didn't feel super cheesy. Um it felt like the actors really were putting in the effort to make this story believable.
Yeah, even the news guys. We
Uh-huh.
have an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
alien coming in at 4:21, and I was like, "Whoa, this was cool." You had them. I don't know. I felt like they were. It felt. I don't know. I just felt like it was. Yeah, you're right. It felt very believable across the
Yeah.
board.
Yeah. And who's the other one? There's just some funny side characters too. Like I think it was the grandma or somebody was funny, had some funny lines.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always love that little thing you have in these kind of movies.
Mm.
Just some random background character that has a funny few lines that just adds to the humor to it. I love that too.
Yeah, like, you had great characters. Even the generals and the other guys, like off topics. I thought they were good. Like at the end.
Yeah, I really love that last monologue. That really sold the movie for me. And so,
Oh, of Klaatu talking to everybody.
uh huh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
really sold it for me. So yeah, he was definitely my favorite overall.
Yeah, well, he had no. I mean, my man was so. I think he just got tired because he just got shot again for no
Yeah,
reason,
yeah,
and he just came out like, "All right, this is it. I'm just gonna tell him straight up what's gonna happen." I think he was really pissed off. Like you could see it in his face when he opened that door. He goes, "Listen, no bullshit. I'm gonna tell you guys right now what's gonna happen, and you take it for what you will, because I'm leaving." Like he literally got shot for no reason again. I mean, he was running away. He's an alien. What do you
right,
expect? What's gonna happen? He
right.
doesn't know what's gonna happen, which he knew what was gonna happen because he told the girl, "Go to that robot and tell him this," because he knew once he gets shot, this robot will destroy everybody to protect him.
Yes, he'll
So
burn the planet.
yeah. So for me, I kind of liked it that he was just pissed off and was like, "Okay, I'm done. I did my investigation. This is good. There's some good in the world, but then there's still bad in the world. And, it's up to them to fix their problems." So
Absolutely.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to the directing. What are your thoughts on the directing?
It was good. It was nothing basic. I don't think it was like anything groundbreaking. Like you're like, whoa! I kind of love the shot of the UFO coming through Washington. I thought
Yeah,
that looked so real. I was like, whoa! Especially for a '50s movie, it looks really cool, black and white.
yeah,
I like that. I like the way it takes off and it goes. Um, the directing was good, even with the robot. I thought it was really cool, like the way they did that. But it was mostly them and character driven. So it was mostly character driven, and I thought it was like a most basic. So I gave it a 3 in terms of directing. I don't think it was like the greatest direct. I mean, again,
yeah,
it's so hard to judge, but I gave it a 3 at the
yeah.
end.
All right. Well, I slightly different there. I gave it a 4. I love Robert Wise as a director in general. He did
Okay.
this movie, Sound of Music, West Side Story, and Star Trek: The Motion Picture. He also did one called, I think it's The Haunting from 1963. He did that
Mm,
movie, Andromeda Strain. He did a lot of movies that are more science fiction and musical, and he was like a journeyman director. He could do any genre. Um, but I thought he did really well, and maybe it's just the acting of Klaatu for me, but
yeah.
I felt that this movie really fed into the fear, the real fear people had of, foreign invasion, of nuclear holocaust and all of that. Like I felt like he really fed into that dread really well. Um because this was in 51, right? That's only 6 years after World War II ended. So
Mm,
I thought he really touched on what people were worried about, which was killing each other, blowing each other up. Um, when you're so close to crazy event like World War II like that, you'll have real feelings and whatnot that the writers and everybody will get across. So I thought you did fantastic here. That's why I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I mean, again, he was good. Like I said, I'm just looking at it in terms of like there was not no multiple different shots. It was just mostly basic shots across.
For
So
sure. Yeah.
so that's what I was looking at it. But yeah, again, this is not my genre.
Right,
Whereas
right.
I could do more 80s and 90s and stuff like that. So it's very different. But yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, for me, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to cinematography and special effects.
I give it a 4, hands down. I think the robot scenes were good. I thought when the robot does the lasers, I thought it was handled very well.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job, especially disappearing the stuff. When he took the guns away, the tanks away, killed those 2 guys and evaporated them. I thought they did a good job there. Like I said, the UFO landing in Washington, D.C. was amazing. Its leaving was amazing. I think that's pretty much it in terms of special effects that I know. Everything, all the electronics going off at the same time. I thought they did a great job there. So and the iconic scene, in terms of cinematography, the most iconic scene for me is the ending when he's on top of the alien ship with my man with the robot, and he's just telling the thing pissed off. To me, that's the most iconic scene when he's just standing there. The second iconic for me would be when he's talking to the girl in the elevator. When he was like, "Is it 1:30?" Yeah, well, electricity went out. Like I just turned it off, like for a reason. So I kind of like that. So I gave it a 4. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Well, I gave it a 3. I don't know. I could have used some more intricate details on the spaceship. It looked a little too simple and cheesy to me. And I'm even comparing that to like World of Worlds, for example. Those ships were super intricate, and that one was in color too, but it was a lot more colorful and whatnot. This felt a little too simple to me. I could have used a little bit more detail. I did like the robot costume though, and I like Klaatu's costume as well. And but I do agree. I did like the when the ship was flying. I thought that looked really cool. I think just once it was landed in DC,
Yeah,
I don't know. It really looked like a set to me. It didn't blend in very well.
I see what you mean, but I think the director was not trying to focus on the ship. Like I
Right.
think he was just trying to focus on the being, the Klaatu, and the
Yeah.
robot. I think he wasn't focusing on the ship much, and it's 51. Like whereas War of the Worlds, multiple ships, so they had to focus on making that more
Right.
elaborate. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No,
Like
that's true.
so. I mean, that's just me, my taking. I think from a director's point of view, I'm not gonna focus much. Now you could, because now with motion picture and everything, they're gonna want you want the most realistic UFO looking. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want in the movie. But I think back then, I think he was just like, let's just put a plate and let it
Yeah.
land, and he's
Right.
not gonna make. Who cares?
Right.
You're like, who cares? This is what comes out. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think when they opened the door or whatever, and you saw the ramp come out, I was kind of like, this is pretty. It looked great. It looked actually like they really did that.
Yeah.
Like
That was pretty cool.
yeah, like practical. I thought they did a great job with that. And even when it closed itself, I didn't even see the cracks. Like the guy said, he was like, I don't even know where the crease is when they were trying to drill through and everything. Like it just
Yeah.
disappeared. And I was trying to look for it too, even when it closed itself, like during the movie. And when it showed it going in and it locks in, and I'm like, where the hell is the crease? Like I can't even
Right.
tell, even from my point of view. So I think they did a great job, interior and exterior of the ship. That's why I gave it a 4. Because even when he walks in and everything is just like not touch buttons, it's just like a swipe and everything turns on and illuminates, and he's just hand gesturing everything. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that now. I thought it was really dope. Like he just does like 3 on top, 3 on the bottom, and then he did 3 on the bottom, and then all the lights in the ship turned on. I can't really remember the sequence, but yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
it was and then he did like a swipe to the left, swipe to the right, and then the panels opened, and I was like, oh, this is dope. So I give him a lot of credit. Like I thought they did a cool job, doing something different, not no button, all these different buttons he's pushing. It's more gesture, more technology advancements, right? Because he told the kid, I'll talk to you later because I'll talk to you about the trains on a monorail, right? It's like he said, it's no rails, and I was just like, that's cool because you can see him not touching nothing. So wherever he's from, there's no contact with anything from his planet. So maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but it was cool. So I gave it a
4. Yeah. No. Well, and I guess to make up for it though, in motion picture, there's like 20 minutes of the Enterprise, so I'll give it credit there.
Yeah, that's true. Enterprise.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the music. What are your thoughts on the music?
I always a sucker for 50s music. So I gave it a 4 because it's not memorable. It's not something that you go, what's the day of the Earth Still's theme song or whatever. You're not gonna be like, ooh, like you're not gonna know the like note for note.
Right.
So like for me, So like for me, I can't give it a 5 because to me it's not as recognizable, or unless you're like a diehard that watches this all the time, then I will say, okay, sure. For me, no. So I gave it a 4. I thought it was great because I was heavy invested into the movie. I thought it was cool, but it's mostly like but it's not like a score. But I gave it a 4 though. I was into it, and I thought they did a great job with it.
Yeah. Well, I gave it a 3. I don't know. It was a little too generic for me. But that's kind of what was the case back then with a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
What we know for scores and whatnot really wasn't until much later in the 70s, honestly. So that's why I gave it a 3. It's not horrible at all. It really sets the tone, the mood, and whatnot. But if I heard it on the radio, like you were saying, I wouldn't be able to distinguish it. Like, sci-fi movie from the 50s, probably.
Exactly. Like, you're right. I mean, back then, it's not recognizable as much. I don't even know if there's anything in the 50s that I would go, oh, that's the theme from whatever, from 19. Like, I couldn't.
Maybe
I could do the
musicals.
60s.
That's it. Yeah.
I could do the 60s. I could tell you Psycho is easy. The Berman Herman one, See, again, like, it because it's imprinted in your head, like 60s. 50s, I can't even give you it. Except Happy Days, but that's for
that's for the
yeah. But no. All jokes aside, I couldn't even pick a 50s movie from that hat, sci-fi version, and be like,
right. No, I wouldn't either. But honestly, only like you were saying, Bernard Herrmann and Max Steiner, like those guys, I would recognize more. But a lot of these B movies used a lot of the same music, recycled it, and so whatever the studio had in their archive is what you would use a lot.
They were like, "Hey, we got to save a cost." Well, here you go.
Exactly. Here's a generic sci-fi soundtrack.
Yep.
All right. So that is our thoughts on that. We'll save if we recommend this at the end there. Let's move on to the 2008 film. What are your thoughts on the plot for this one?
I like it. I before, if you would have caught me when we did this, I would have been like, "Oh, I hated it." Nope. I actually, on the rewatch, I kind of digged it and I liked it. I think as a modern version of the 50s version, I think they did a great job with the twist. In terms of the changes they did, I think they did a great job. Keanu Reeves. First of all, Keanu Reeves is. I love that they show the beginning of where they got his DNA. So when he comes back out of the cocoon, it's Keanu Reeves. It's not Keanu Reeves was just the alien from whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they literally gave you a little background of why Keanu Reeves is the actual main Klaatu. Like, Klaatu is an alien, but they took his DNA so he could look amongst everybody. So I like that. I thought that was pretty cool and very genius. Because when you see Klaatu in the 50s version, it was Klaatu in the helmet already as a human. So it's telling you that humans in a different planet are aliens, but in a human form, which is weird. Here, like I told you, when it comes to modern, they're going to make everything look more alienish, if you want to say. So what they did was they gave you Keanu Reeves in this older, I don't know when, but he was like prehistoric. I don't even know what the hell it was, but he was like a caveman looking thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he looked like he was just out there at Arctic, and he found the thing. They took his DNA, and then fast forward, the Klaatu arrives, and then he's in this cocoon, which he comes out as an alien. They shoot him, which is kind of the same as the other one. They shoot him, and then they're taking it off, and then he becomes human, so that he could feel like he's bonding with everyone. So I kind of like that. Now, in terms of the disease or whatever, that little medical bug thing that is destroying the world, love it. I thought it was cool because, again, from their point of view, Klaatu's like, brother, you guys are destroying the earth, and we need to keep the earth, going. And he pretty much gave him an ultimatum. Like, I'm taking all your species, which I thought was pretty cool. Like the Ark, they took them all the species and put them in the ship or whatever they did, and pretty much they were about to annihilate everybody until Klaatu saved everybody. So totally different from the other one. Klaatu left in 50, and in 50 he saved everybody because he felt like the human. He feel like the human could change and do everything, which I still don't believe it, but it is what it. In that movie they think so. Now, Jennifer Connelly plays a bio somethinologist. I don't know what it is. She plays some bio thingy. I liked her character, different from Helen from the 50s version.
Yeah.
I liked her. I thought she was pretty cool. I did not like Will Smith's son, and they took the same child plot from the other one, which is funny because I think his father's name was Benson too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it was Benson from the other one. So I didn't like his character. Honestly, they could have just kept it with Jennifer Connelly and just leave the boy out of it. Because he didn't do nothing for Klaatu. I think Klaatu was mostly with Jennifer Connelly, where he felt, to me, I felt like he felt the change when the female, like the bond of mother and child, that's what changed his mind. I was like, crap. Yeah. But other than that, I felt like the plot itself, I enjoyed it. This time around, I enjoyed it. I said, well, this is not really that bad like everyone made it seem to be. I kind of liked it for what it was. I gave it a 3. While the 50s version is more narrative, straight to the point, this one is more grand and more whatever, Hollywoody. I still like this one, but I think the 51 in the plot department is a hair better than this one. But I do like both versions of Klaatu, though. Don't get me wrong. I like both versions, but and I do understand why they got Keanu Reeves because of the way he delivers lines works very well for this type of character. So with that said, I gave it a 3 in terms of plot.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I gave it a 2.
I already can see where this is gonna go.
Yep. I absolutely hated the son and stepmom relationship. I hated that so much. It doesn't take up too much of the film, but every scene that we have with them, it feels like nails on the chalkboard for me. I absolutely hated it.
It's Will Smith's son is the reason.
Yeah, Jaden. No, for sure. No, Jennifer Connelly was fine. It's Will Smith's son. I couldn't stand him, and I also hated how he was with Klaatu doing that same thing as the old one, and I hated him so much, especially when he calls the military on them, have them come over, and I know they needed some kind of tension like that. I just wish it wasn't from him.
But there was no tension though. The thing is like the 50s one. The reason why I prefer the 50s one and it worked for me is because the 50s one, he was taking him everywhere to see the earth, right? To see the monuments and whatever. Like he took him to see Lincoln's monument.
Right.
And he was like, man, I wish I could sit down and talk to him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
In this version, Jada Pinkett Smith. What's his name?
I think he's Jaden.
Right? Like Jaden Smith. He was annoying because all he kept doing was comebacking everything she said. You know what I mean? Turn off World of Warcraft. No.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what to do. Right? Staying in the car. No, you're not going to stay in the car. Right? And then when he did call them and she's like, what are you doing? And he was like, there was no reason for him to do it. I mean, he did it to do it because he was being a pain in the ass because his father died. Right, and I was just like, okay, I get it. But that's where I was telling you, I prefer the kid in the 50s version because his purpose was to show him around, not knowing that he's an alien, but then he figures it out when he follows him into the ship.
Uh,
But the point is like he just showing him around because he was a nice dude. He was just like, oh man, let me just take you around.
right.
But I did not like him in the. I just didn't like him in this one. Jaden Smith is the reason why this movie. I mean, I know a lot of people are nitpicky with the movie itself, but I bet a lot of people are turned off from the movie because of him as a kid.
I wouldn't doubt it. The other thing I didn't like was it kind of seems like we're thrown into the plot. There doesn't feel like a lot of setup, where it seems like one scene she's going home, whatever, talking to her son. All of a sudden, hey, there's somebody knocking on your door, and then there's a meteor coming, and I don't know. I could have done with a little bit more setup. I just felt like we were rushed into this story here.
Well, they were trying to give it to you from a modern, what would happen if a real alien land on Earth style, which I get it. It brought not more tension, not cinematic wise, but I think they were trying to make you like, holy crap, like she is this big deal. Like who is this lady, right? But to me, it fell flat. I agree with you because I was just like, what the hell? Like he was just like, are you home? Like, okay, yeah, sure, I am home. And then all of a sudden you see the lights flashing, people banging the doors, like, we got the package. And this is the part that I didn't like, and maybe you agree with me. When in a situation like this, and I go, I have my son, and they go, can you leave the boy with someone else? Well, no, if you come in to get me, why I can't take my son with me?
Yeah.
Like, that was a little weird. And maybe it does happen in real life like that. Maybe they do because it's the government or whatever. But to me, it felt kind of weird. Like, sure, stay with your next door neighbor, and then you find out it's like the end of the world, and now you got to go back and get your son. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that part was so weird and far fetched, but maybe it is true. I really don't know, but that to me felt weird.
I think they did that just so they could have the tension of her trying to find her son again, her stepson.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I don't know. It just felt super shoehorned and cheesy. I didn't like it very much.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to acting. What are your thoughts on the acting?
I gave it a 3. I don't think it was great. I think Keanu Reeves was great in the role. Like, I think he was great. Jennifer Connelly, I thought was great. Jaden Smith, I think he was annoying, and I would never liked him in any film, so I can't even tell you.
He's not good.
Yeah. So with that said, like, I didn't like him at all. Kathy Bates' character, I thought she was cool, but then she was annoying. I don't know. I think then she's playing the character right, but I thought she was good. John Hamm was cool. To be honest with you, I like John Hamm.
Yeah.
So, like, in terms of the acting, I don't know. I wasn't too engaged. See, like, the thing, like, I liked the movie. Like I said, it changed my mind. Like, I enjoyed the movie for what it is. But I wasn't too, like, oh, wow, this is, like, the greatest thing where, ever. But to me, I gave it a 3. Another 3. I thought they were good to move along the story. I think if they didn't have Jaden Smith and they changed it to a kid that could act and changed his storyline a little bit better, I think it would have been better. I like the professor scene and Keanu Reeves scene. I thought that was really cool with Gleese.
John Cleese.
John Cleese. I thought that was a really good thing when he was trying to even change his mind on the situation. Kathy Bates and the alien, she played it just like you want to from the government's point of view. So, like, I don't know. And I just thought it was good. I wasn't like, wow, this is amazing, what everyone's talking about. So I gave it a 3.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, my Lord.
Here is another 2.
You gave it a 2?
I did. And the 2 is all with Keanu Reeves.
Really?
He's the reason why it's a 2. Everybody else is horrible. Horrible in this movie. I think that boils down to not necessarily the acting itself or the actors themselves, because there's a lot of great actors in this movie.
Yeah.
I think it boils down to the writing, because it seemed they had John Cleese, which is awesome, but he was totally wasted. He's in, like, what, 30 seconds, if that?
Well, he had the same time as the professor in the 50s version.
I guess. He felt just more connected in the 50s one, in my opinion, the professor. This one, I don't know. It just felt wasted.
You got to remember, though, in the 50s one, Helen was the secretary to him.
Right.
Whereas Jennifer Connelly, I don't even know what was the relationship between her and this professor.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't remember. It said like that, again, that's really bad because I remember the 50s version that she was a secretary of him, and that's how the little boy knew that he was the smartest man because the mom worked for him, which
Right.
made sense. And he was like, take me to him. So
Right.
that worked. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But yeah, weird.
Yeah. I love John Hamm. I just wish he was in it more.
Yes. Agree.
And Kathy Bates can be great too. She fit her role fine. But honestly, overall, Jaden Smith just really,
Yeah, he kills it.
really drug it down for me. I could not stand him at all. He
I
was just
agree.
absolutely dreadful. And it makes me sad because I know this could have been a great movie with better writing and probably, like you were saying, a better kid actor, or at the very least, less of him.
Or not have him at all. You could tell
Not
the
have him at
story
all.
without him. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like you were mentioning, how Jennifer Connelly's character could have been where he recognizes the humanity or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It just feels like with the acting, there could have been much better writing for them because there's great actors in this, and they're just totally wasted. So, yeah, 2 out of 5.
Agree.
All right, directing.
Okay. Okay, so now this is more modern take of it. And he did some good shots. I'm not gonna lie. They did some good stuff here. So with that said, I'm not gonna put it above the 50s, but I will tie it. I gave it a 4. Well, no, I gave it a 3 for the 50s one. So I'm gonna go. I'll give it a 4 because it is above it because it does have more sequences of the destruction of the robot, and those scenes were dope when it was eating giant stadium and it was eating signs and it was eating
Yeah,
people and it was eating like the army dudes. Like, and I love the scene where it turns into everything in that little pod room thing, and he was like, "Open the door," and he was like, "Nope, we're sealed from the inside." Like, I kind of like that scene. I thought the scene was really good. Directing wise, I mean, again, it's. I thought he did a good job. I think he could have been better, like some cooler shots with Klaatu.
yeah,
But I did like the scene when Klaatu is doing the. He's getting interrogated, and he
yeah.
flipped the script on everybody. I thought that was a really cool scene. The Matrix thing with the inside the ear thing. You got to look. Again, I think he did a good job with what he had. So that's the only reason I'm giving it a 4. Slightly better than the 50s because the 50s, while it was just a straight basic shot, this one he had to deal with more effects and turning the effects into like a realism thing imaging, which that's the effects department, but he's still the directing though. He has to give them the
Right,
vision of where to go. So that's
right. He
only
gives you.
yeah, he gives the upright. So I gave it a 1 point higher than the 50s. Nothing crazy. So I gave it 1 point higher.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, I gave it a 2. I'll start out with the positives. I think the visuals are great, and I think that is his strong suit here for sure. Um, just the story, man. He could have made better decisions with how the story was laid out and played out. I don't know anything about the behind the scenes of the movie. I don't know if he was, just hired on by the studio, somebody else wrote it, kind of thing. Not sure, but I just felt his focus seemed to be more on the visual effects, which, okay, fine enough. You need the good visual effects, but if you don't have the character or the story to back it, it just is just loud noise. There's no depth or character to it, and that's why I gave it a 2 because I could have used much better in the story department. And again, I don't know if that was his fault or the studio's fault, but I got to put the blame on somebody, right? So
Well, the director didn't. He just directed. It was 2 different writers.
okay, yeah. See, there you go. That's
Yeah.
always a problem if there's more than one writer on a movie, for sure.
Yeah. So it's 2 writers, and the guy was the director. Yeah, the guy Scott Dickerson was just the directing, and then it was
Okay.
two writers, David Scarpa and Edmond H. North was the
Okay.
other guys. Yeah,
I haven't heard of either of them. Um,
we just did a movie for the Action Movie Guys podcast with David Scarpa. Yeah, he did. He wrote Gladiator 2
oh,
and Napoleon.
Okay, so
Oh
not off to a great start.
no, you know what? I don't even think he's the one that I was thinking of. No, yeah, I don't know who the hell Scarpia is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, well, see, I was thinking. I thought you meant directing. Like, what did you think of directing?
Oh, like the actual staging and whatnot.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
your category is. That's why I was like, wait a minute, because you confused me. Because you, I was like, wait, what? That's not directing. You're blaming everything on the director. I thought your category for directing is the entire movie from the director. Like, what did I thought of directing? That's why I compare it with the
Oh,
50s and this one. That's why I was a little
sure.
that's what I was doing. I was comparing the director from the 50s to this director visually. Like, what
Yeah.
from taking me from each frame by frame, what did I think of? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Not at all.
My bad. I don't know if that's the way you that's the way you wanted it. I don't know if that's the what you were
No,
looking at for directing.
honestly, that directing label is kind of more ambiguous. I haven't really hammered down what it is.
Oh, okay, okay. So because
So you're fine, man.
I thought when you told me directing, I'm thinking frame by frame how the shots were lined up, how the
Yeah,
story moved from the director's point of view. That's why I was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna give it a hair better than the original guy because he deals with the CGI and doing the destruction. So I'm looking at it from that point of view.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm looking at it from that category.
Yep, of
So
course. All
you
right.
gave him a 2.
I gave him a 2. Yep.
Okay.
So cinematography and special effects.
That I'm gonna give it a 4. Because honestly, the special effects are great. I can't, and they still hold up. I'm not gonna lie. 2008, we're 2024. It still
Yeah,
holds up.
yeah.
That thing turning into a little nanobite, whatever the hell it is, and destroying everything. It looked great. The robot looks dope as hell. That robot looked dope, and he was a little bit bigger than the other one.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He
and I
was.
think they used the CGI perfectly. They didn't make him too big. They just made him enough to like be scary
Yeah.
when they showed him. So I liked it. The only thing I did not like, and let's see, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think it's because of the way they did it. But I didn't like the UFO. I wish it was a UFO. I didn't like the stupid ball earth thing, Majiggy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't
No,
like that.
I hated that too.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I understood it because it was like a arc and it was trying to take stuff away. But Klaatu's ship should have been the ship, and then you could have did the Earth ball thing, looking for taking the species. I would have been like, that's cool. But I wish it was a ship, a more modern ship, and just landing, and then the top opens up like the Bat car. Remember when the Batmobile
Uh,
shields? Like it
uh,
opens like that at the top, and then you see the big robot comes in to protect them. Like he just steps out, like boom, like your ass is
yeah.
yeah. Like other than that, like that's my knock is the arrival of the ship. I don't like the way it looked, but I think everything else in the movie was really well done and it still holds up, and that's the only reason I gave it a 4. Because I think the sign and the cinematography, and I think the special effects are great, so I gave it a 4.
Okay. Well.
Oh man, when you say well, I get so scared. Oh
No,
man.
I give it a 3. I liked it for the most part.
Okay.
I really liked the giant alien or robot guy, and um, I do think some of the visuals didn't age very well. Like the helicopter at the very beginning looked pretty rough. Um,
Hmm.
and I liked the little bugs at the end. Those look really cool, especially up close.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of hit and miss for me with visual effects because sometimes they could be a little too much, and other times there's not enough. So this time I think it was a little too much by the end there. When they're like in a cloud or something like that near the end. I don't know. It was a little,
Well, because he was, I
little
mean, that was the end of the world. I mean,
yeah,
so, and it was the whole body of the robot that just dissolved. So
yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It kind of made
Was
sense to me, but I get it.
it makes sense narratively. I just visually it didn't look very pleasing to me. It
Hmm.
looked very very dated.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it looked really bad.
I don't know. I mean, it looks way better than a lot of movies from. I mean, it looked way in terms of bug, like it looked better than the GI Joe nanobots. And
Oh,
those were.
oh yeah,
I mean, like that's what I'm saying.
absolutely.
Like if you gotta, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, hey, this is your thing, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like in
yeah,
terms of special effects, I think in terms of other films that had that same technology, it still holds up in terms of it, but I don't know.
yeah. Well, because I think of movies that came out around the same time, right? Like, well, like I don't know if it's fair to compare, but Avatar, right? The first one came out a year after this one, or let's see, Revenge of the Sith 3 years before that. I don't know. That one looked better.
Revenge of the Sith was Star Wars.
Yeah, that came
Yeah,
out
but
in
you gotta, yeah,
2005.
but see, wait, whoa. Wait, that's totally different though. You gotta pick
Yeah.
movies that have the same technology that uses the
Okay.
same type of stuff like bugs that
Yeah.
was doing that. I mean, because if you're gonna pick Avatar, Avatar has nothing to do with like has no
No, it
yeah,
has
it's
no
gonna
bugs.
yeah, it
No,
has
you're
no
right.
bugs. So you're gonna be like, yeah, that looks 10 times better. Like the Mummy too. That looks
Yeah,
garbage compared to
that movie is
it's
terrible.
horrible. So like
Yeah.
you gotta look at like movies like
Let's
with
see.
bugs, and then you go, does this movie outshine those? Does it still hold up? Then sure. I mean, but
Ooh,
if you're gonna put it against Revenge of the Sith, I mean,
Crystal Skull. Then it came out the same year.
it has the ant scene. Yeah, you could do that if you feel like this. The ants. I mean, I saw the movie. Yeah, the ants look way better than this. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, it
Yeah.
does.
But we'd also have to compare production budgets, and I'm certain that one had Crystal Skull probably had a bigger one than this one.
Well, this one, what was the budget for this one?
Yeah, I
Let's
I
see.
want to say it was like 80 million. I could be mistaken though.
Let's see. The date is still budget. It was 80 million.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Crystal Skull will be. I think you might be right. Let's see.
It's probably like 130, 150,
In
some crazy like that.
Crystal. All right, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Budget. 185.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's why it looks like
Okay,
real
well,
ants.
there you go. There you go. So I guess that's not a fair comparison, um, but I think like the old one, this movie was more focused on the characters than it was the visuals.
Yeah.
Um, so credit where credit's due, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. I mean, even if you look at the 50 version has nothing to do with destruction. Like
No,
this one, they just straight up destruction just because it sells tickets. But
right.
but yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um
What's another one? Didn't 2012 come out that year too? The Roland Emmerich one?
let me see, 2012 came out 2009.
2009. Okay.
I mean, even if you want to go
Dark Knight. No. Iron Man.
look, dude, if you want to go, let's say you want to use 2009 budget, the budget was 200 million.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah, so
well, there you go.
yeah, so again, $80 million film. I think it looks pretty good for $80 million film.
Well, kind of talking about that. How did it do box office wise? This movie.
This movie, I don't think it did well. Let's see.
I didn't really research that, but be curious to know.
The Day the Earth Stood Still. Oh, it did amazing. $80 million budget and a worldwide 233 million.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. They did their money.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really good. Well, I hope Hollywood can do something like that now, because like what was it? Godzilla minus one only cost 12 million US and made like 200 million US.
Yeah, so like again, but this shows you also for $80 million that if you have a good story with that budget, you could have did a great. I mean, they did a great job. 233. Oh, it's still a successful movie.
Yeah.
Granted, if you like it or hate it, but I think if you do a movie that's below, yeah, like you said, Godzilla was like 12 million, and that's just CGI. and it still looked real. Like, I mean, the way they shot it. But yeah, I don't know. It could work. I mean, imagine they did the Earth Stood Still with a $12 million budget, and the Klaatu and the damn ship would have looked 10 times better than the 50s one.
Right.
So if they went down that route, they would have made triple or quadruple the amount. With an all-star cast. Imagine that with an all-star cast.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can have Keanu Reeves as Klaatu, and you can have Helena as whoever the hell you want. You have the professor as whoever you want. And then the armies and all that, you could have like a whole all-star Oscar award-winning cast, and it would have been pretty good. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting topic, really.
Right. And so then that kind of begs the question, is this a film that should get a remake?
I would say because it was a successful movie, I would say maybe, but I think because of the Jaden Smith annoying kid might draw people back. Like, it has to be really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, the trailer has to sell you to get you back in the seats. Like, I will go see it because I like the 50s, and now I like the 08. But I think it's just leave it alone.
Yeah.
I think I bet there's other 50s sci-fi movies that I bet you could do that could be a little bit better than this one. Like, this one, you already did it. You already got the money. It's already been done. Why not do The Thing they did it 80s version, but if you want to, you don't have to do The Thing. They already did The Thing. There has to be another 50s movie that they could do.
Yeah. Like
sci-fi.
Tarantula.
Oh, no. Didn't they do that already?
They probably did.
Yeah, I think they did. With the guy from Dewey, the guy who played Dewey in Scream. It was called 8 Crazy Feet or Legs or something.
Oh.
It was a spider movie. And it was like, it was with him.
Right.
Yeah, they could do another one. I bet they could do another one.
There's tons, though. There's tons of them from the 50s.
It's just that they're very picky and they want like to harness the movie. I mean, the popular titles and not give it a title. Like, I always thought Jekyll and Hyde would be a perfect movie, and I don't know how people could screw that one up. I'm just like, that's so weird to do, but it is what it is. So you gave it a 2.
I did. I gave it a 2.
Okay.
Or no, I gave it a 3. I gave the same
a 3.
A 3. The next one, though, music. What are your thoughts on the music?
Wait. Well, what did I give special effects for? I gave it a 4. Music. So I don't think it's memorable. I like the 50s one because it was 50s. The movie felt, I don't know. To me, it just fit with the movie.
Yeah.
This one, fit the time. This one, I don't know. I wasn't too I was too heavy invested into the movie to care about the music, and I don't know if that's good or bad, or it tells me that the music wasn't as memorable. But I was mostly invested in the movie, so like for me, I gave the music a 3 because it was just background noise for me because I was too heavily invested into the movie. Whereas like if you have a Hans Zimmer is always up front with the music, right? Like, or Alan Silverstein or whatever who plays the bass.
Alan Silvestri,
yeah, his music is up front. Danny Elfman, his music is up front. It's presented even in a movie like this. It would be like it's in there in your face, like you're in the journey with it. And I always remember this quote, and I know I'm going to butcher it all over the place, by John Williams. And he goes, if the music could guide you through a movie while the actors are not speaking, then the composer did his job. I don't know if that's actually accurate what he said, but I think that's in the ballpark what he was saying.
Oh, I agree with that.
But I feel like this composer to me didn't guide me while I was more into it. There's movies that I've seen that I get really amped when the music and the score starts to build up, and you're like, whoa, like you're like, this is getting crazy. Indiana Jones is another one. Harry Potter, RoboCop 1. You know, that's another iconic soundtrack that you'd be like, oh my god, Rocky, right? So for me, in terms of the music, I don't think this one did his job. I gave it a good. Because it didn't move me along because I was more heavily invested into the words of the actor speaking, but it gave me enough as background noise to guide me into the into it. I don't know if you if it makes sense,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I gave it a 3. I thought it was good.
Okay. Well,
Well, I gave it a 2.
I did. I gave it a
Oh,
2. I really did. Something I hate about the 2000s music for movies is you hear like generic like cymbal noises for like a drum set or whatever.
yeah.
And I could have swore I heard sound effects that you would hear in a reality TV show. Like I'm not gonna lie, some of the music cues and some of the motifs or whatever you call them, I was like, I could have swore I've heard that in a reality TV show. Like, did they just use generic stock sound music, whatever you call it?
Yeah.
I hated the music in this movie.
Mm.
It did not put me in the mood at all. In fact, it reminded me more of like more just a straight action movie, which this has action in it for sure. But I wanted more something more scientific, more science fiction, like more like not quite Star Wars, but
Star Trek.
yeah, more like a Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Because like Klaatu's more of a contemplative figure, right? He's not trying to kill people necessarily. He's not fighting people. It should be a little bit more whimsical, I guess is what I'm looking for.
You know, it'd be pretty perfect if it was like a little bit of a twist of like the Vulcan theme that they do in Star Trek with a mix of the eerie alien theme song. If
Yeah.
you understand what I mean, like when
Uh-huh.
the alien has like that eerie, because you don't know who he is. He's a mystery guy.
Right.
But the way he is, he's just like you say, he's stone cold. You don't know. He's just taking in information. So you could do some type of like an alien mix with like a Star Trek thing,
Yeah.
and especially the robot. Like the scene with the robot was cool, but it wasn't as grand if you would have had the music kick in when. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Could have been the wrong composer too.
That totally could be it too.
Yeah.
Because to me, in a lot of sci-fi, especially, the music can make or break a movie.
Yes.
Like you mentioned Alien, for example, you remember that score even 10 years, 20 years down the road, you know where it comes from. Or
Predator.
The Predator, yes, The Thing, Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Good. To me, sci-fi needs to have a good score that is very memorable, that feels science fiction-y. I don't know. Like this movie lacks that.
This movie, and I don't know if you would agree with me, this movie needed Danny Elfman.
Sure.
Because I always thought of I thought of the Men in Black theme song.
Yeah.
The doom, 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 doom. Like you know that like that Beetlejuice type thing. You know, like because it's 50s. Why not make a modern 50s version of that of the Day the Earth is still version, but the Danny Elfman version for this movie? It could have worked. I think it could have worked. You didn't need to sound like Beetlejuice, but again, Danny Elfman would have been a perfect because he has that old school monsters universe. Monsters. I think Nate told me that the Epic Universe is written by Danny Elfman too for the theme park. Yeah, the theme park. He wrote all the. I believe that's what he was telling me. Let me look it up. But yeah, so you gave it a 3 for music.
I give it a 2 for music.
Oh,
I wonder if somebody like Tim Burton would have been a better fit for this movie overall.
Oh, Tim Burton. I don't know. I think he's too. It would have been too dark-ish. No, you need someone like someone science. Oh man, Ridley Scott would have been really good for this movie.
Yeah, he would have.
Ridley Scott, I think, would have been really good. I think Christopher Nolan would have been really good for this movie.
Yep.
Those are only 2 directors.
He would have kept it practical too.
Oh, he would have. Yes, Danny Elfman composed the original score for the Dark Universe, a theme land at Universal Orlando's new Epic Universe theme park. The music is available as a digital album, streaming now on all platforms, Apple Music. So
that's awesome.
Listen to it if you want to listen to it to see what it sounds like. So yeah, I'm thinking, I think those are the two directors that I would be like, hey, who would you? I think Christopher Nolan would have knocked it out the park, and Ridley Scott would have been my number one.
Yeah.
I think that would have been my number one.
Yeah, especially around this time because let's see, 2008. I don't think he was really making anything around then,
I
right?
don't think so.
When did Kingdom of Heaven come out?
Ridley Scott. Let's see.
It must have been 2005, maybe.
Let's see. Ridley Scott movies 2024. Oh man, he made a lot of movies.
He's made a lot of movies.
2018. What year is it we talking about? 2005. Jeez. Okay, here we go. 2005. He was a producer for In Her Shoe. Producer. You might be right. I don't think he did anything. This is for he was a producer. Let's go directing. Oh, this is producer credits. I don't want that. I want directing. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, I got you. He did Thunder, Perfect Mind, short movie, Kingdom of Heaven, 2005.
Okay.
All the Invisible Children, 2005, and In a Good Year, 2006. American Gangster, 2007.
Oh, so he would have been busy with that then.
Yeah. He could have actually did the movie within. He had a year off in 2004 because he did Matchstick Men, 2003, and then the next movie after that would have been a short that he did in 2005. So
what about 2008 or 9? Was he doing anything then?
2008 Body of Lies and 2010 Robin Hood.
Oh. So he probably could have made it work somehow.
He could have, if you would have given him. I think he would have been great.
Yeah, well, especially if he tried to do kind of similar to Blade Runner or heck, even Alien.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are our thoughts on the music. All right. So overall, Alex, would you recommend the 1950s one or the 2008 or both?
Oh man, it's hard. It's hard to sell 2008 to people because it had such a bad taste amongst humans. I highly recommend the 50s. In any film, watch the original before you go to the remake.
Yeah.
2008 was pretty good. I liked it. I will rewatch it again. Like I enjoyed it for what it was. I just hate the kid. But other than that, they did a great job with it. But the 50s to me is supreme over the remake. That's my assessment.
Yeah. Do you think if the 2008 was not a remake, just a totally original film, do you think it would have done better, even with Jaden Smith?
If it was an original, that's a good question. I think it would have flopped. Because, well, then again, well, no, I think it would have. It definitely is because of the people watching.
They wanted to see a remake.
It was a remake of the original. That's the only reason it made what it did. Because other than that, it would have been Keanu Reeves. It would have been like a Matrix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, he could go into all this and control all this and do this and or Johnny Mnemonic Part 2. Like
right.
Going through stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would have, man. I don't think it would have grossed to 233 million.
No, well, especially with the 80 million budget.
Yeah, it would have fly. It would have made like 40.
Yeah.
Top that. Like or 30. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think I'm in the same boat. I think watch the original first and then watch the 2008. But if I were to pick just one of them, I think just the 1950s one, honestly. I think that, to me, better sets the mood and kind of what people were feeling at the time with the potential nuclear holocaust, the potential Russian invasion, the kind of sentiments that were around then. This movie, the 2008, we had 9/11, middle of Iraq and whatnot, but I don't think it really tapped into that. It seemed he was more tapped into the more environmental messaging, which was kind of more popular then, of like saving the earth. Whereas the 50s one, he was more worried about saving I guess he was worried about saving the earth too, but it seemed more like the people than the earth itself.
Well, no, he was saving the earth.
Okay.
He was telling the people, like, if you don't handle your business, we're gonna take you guys out. Like,
Yeah.
he pretty much he said it more direct. It's just that Keanu Reeves was more like, you guys are dying. Like, it's just we're saving his goal was to tell the Keanu Reeves' objective was to talk to the United Nations and tell them, get your shit together because this Earth is going to be done. They didn't. They shot him twice. Well, they didn't. No, they shot him once.
I think just the one time.
Yeah, they shot him once because I forgot this is different from the other. They shot him once, and that got the ball rolling with the robot. And that is when it was just like, he was like, it's inevitable now because he got shot. It was like, you guys are hostile. Like, that is it. Like, so that's the difference between the other one. The other one, the girl had to go up to the robot and say Klaatu, Parato, Nikto, whatever, from saying from Evil Dead. So I was like, okay. And that robot went to get him. That's what the words mean. Like, to get, I guess he gave him the command, like, go pick me up to take me to the ship and heal me up, and we're out. Like, we're going to tell him what we got to tell him, and we out of this joint. He got all the information he needed. Keanu Reeves got shot, and they put the ball in motion. You guys are done. And he told them, you guys are done. Whatever you do, it ain't going to help. And that's when Jennifer Connelly did the whole thing, gave him the speech, and then he felt bad, took all the bugs away from them and everything. So, yeah, different take on it, but I prefer the 50s version.
Yeah, I think I do too. I think, like I was saying, if you had to pick one, stick to the 50s one. But if you're curious, check out the 2008 one as well.
Yeah, it's not as bad. I don't think it's as bad as the other. Everyone makes it seem.
Yeah. And I'm trying to decide. I don't remember what score I gave the War of the Worlds one. The 2005 one. I definitely liked the 50s one more for that one too. But I just hated that ending in that movie so much. It was way too cheesy for me. Spielberg, man. I love a lot of his movies, don't get me wrong, but when he gets sentimental, he gets super sappy with it. I just can't stand it. It just doesn't fit the tone of the rest of the movie. It's like a total 180. It just like,
it felt like that. It felt like that freaking Frenzy movie from Alfred Hitchcock. It just ends. You know how it just ends and then the credit goes up? That's what it felt like.
Yeah, exactly. No, totally abrupt.
Yep, abrupt ending.
Absolutely. All right. Well, what is your total score for the 50s and for the 2008?
4 out of 5 for the 50s. And a 3.5 for the 2008. So that's actually pretty accurate what I would go with.
Yeah.
On the total.
I have a 3.5 for the 50s and a 2 out of 5 for the 2008.
Whoa! Oh, well, I mean, it makes sense. You gave it all 2s across the board.
I pretty much gave it a 2.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But I had a blast with this though. I love doing this series, comparing the old and the new, just to see the differences and whatnot. It's really fun.
I always like those. Sometimes you've never seen them or whatever, so they're fun. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And sometimes you're like, oh, there's a remake of that. I gotta see that. Or there's.
That's how I felt like when we did the thing. I didn't even know the original thing was like. I mean, I purchased it. I brought the Blu-ray or whatever, but yeah, I was like, wow, I saw it, and there you go. So, yep.
All right. Well, those are our thoughts overall, guys. And again, thank you so much, Alex, for coming on.
Yeah.
And why don't you go ahead and plug your channel? And this episode will be dropping in September. So anything you got going on near the end of September?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to follow the channels, Geeks and Flix, I do 4K review breakdowns on old and new 4Ks that come out. I break down the video, audio. I do menus, special features, and then I give my final thought on them. I'm building a library, so it's not like every new movie that come out is going old and new throughout. Whatever I buy, I just break those down. So most likely by September, I will have close to almost the entire Alfred Hitchcock's 4Ks done by then. So yeah, so I already did the 007 set 4Ks. Those are up. But yeah, so it's pretty much a 4K review. Then I have live action franchise live rankings. Me and Nate, we get together, we rank. So We'll have by then we'll be Indiana Jones done. We already did Die Hard. We did some more across the
Yeah.
So yeah, so again, if you're into that stuff, then check out the channel on YouTube, Geeks and Flix. Or if you're into action movies, we have a podcast that's strictly action movies. That's Action Movie Guys Podcast, available on all podcast platforms.
Heck yeah. Make sure to follow him, guys. All the stuff will be down below, and I'll be on their channel in September as well, talking about the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh, that's right. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yep. Looking forward to that. I still need to finish the last two, and then I'm all set. But yeah, but you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Criticalist, Letterboxd, all of those places at Really Old Movies. I talk about films from the silent era to 1965 because I like the classics. And with that, this has been Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin. This is my co-host, Alex. Take care, everybody.
Later.